Hi Tarot Tater Tots, it's Ethany, and today I am going to be talking about energetic and psychic protection, which is going to be a very interesting subject, I'm sure, for our community to discuss. So I actually was going to just talk about this in one post and kind of do a bit of an overview of everything, and then I realized that I had a lot more to say and I had a lot more to share, and I kind of wanted to go in a little bit deeper with some of these concepts instead of just kind of glancing over them very quickly. So I'm splitting it up into, at this point, 2 parts, and it may be even more. So this is part 1. So as with everything I share, this is just my experience and knowledge. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Part of why I'm so excited about this video is I really want to hear from you all about this subject, as we all have very different beliefs, backgrounds, and experiences. And that's one of the things that makes the community awesome. So I would love to hear what you view on energetic and psychic protection and what your experiences have been. Do you agree with me? Do you not? So yeah, hopefully you share that after you've kind of seen what I have to say. But so let's dive in anyway. So what is energetic protection and why should you give a shit? Well, you actually don't have to care about this at all. You could be watching this out of sheer curiosity, and from that critical, wanting to see what this crazy lady's talking about kind of point of view. However, you may be more interested in this if you are an energy worker, a light worker, tarot reader, oracle card reader, healer, shaman, witch, pagan, energetically sensitive. Heck, you could be all of those things. As I've stated before, especially in my experience with spirits video, I am what is called a skeptical believer. I have had situations that I could not explain, but it doesn't mean that I believe that everything that we experience is some ghosty or some psychic attack or whatever it is. So I'm discerning, I'm a critical thinker in that way. So energetic for me is taking care of my energetic hygiene in a lot of ways. It is not all about warding off attacks and negative energy. It ensures that after a tarot reading for a client that my space is cleared and I feel grounded. It is physically and energetically cleaning my living space so that energy flows through it and doesn't get stuck. It is about creating a welcoming and warm environment where I live. It's about giving myself a little extra protection on the road or while I travel, and I'm very mindful of that. I had jobs where I traveled a lot, and I am a mindful person when it comes to travel. So even just getting in a car. And it's also shielding myself from energy that I don't want to have stick to me, or I don't want to have negatively affect me. And sometimes it's even, I don't even want it to have it affect me in any way. Like, I know certain things are going to affect me in a certain way, and I have, as a person, free will and choice when it comes to what I choose to consume and watch and be around. That's one of the beautiful things about free will. And so all of those things are forms of energetic and psychic protection. So many of us are energetically sensitive. We can walk into a space and can sense immediately if we should be there or not, or if we want to be there or not. Some of us can get the feeling of being hungover after a very late night out, even if we've had nothing to drink, or when we go away from certain things. If you do feel this way often, it may be your body's way of communicating that you could spend some time cleansing your space and working on your protections, or maybe just picking better people and situations to be around. Just saying. So here are some of the ways that I've found that people can experience energy that is not their cup of tea, or they experience bad vibes. It's kind of like the symptoms of it. So you can feel drained after leaving a space or a person or people. You can't focus and feel like there is static around you. You can feel physical heaviness or pressure pains. So that can be like you all of a sudden are picking up on someone's, empathically you're picking up on someone's pain, or you get pain around your temples. I've had like constricting feelings around my throat. I've had pressure down on my chest. A lot of people have had that, especially when it's paired with sleep paralysis. I felt like I've been pinned down before. That's one thing that can happen. You can experience really bad smells, which have no orientation physically that you can find. Sympathetic pains on the body where there's nothing actually wrong with you. I kind of talked about that about pressure pains. But pressure pains to me are very different when it's like not a sharp pain, it's more of like a dull ache. Night terrors or bad dreams. Sleep paralysis. So that's one that I have had on several occasions in the past. So these are just some of the ways that people can experience negative energy. I guess is the best way of kind of saying that. Now, please remember that this does not mean you're under psychic attack or that someone has cursed you if you're experiencing any one of those things. You may actually be sick and fighting off a cold, or just need a good night's sleep, or have medical sleep apnea. Those things happen, they're real. As a matter of my personal work, psychic attack or negative vibes are the last thing I look at when it comes to diagnosing any of these for myself. You know, I run through the like checklist. It's like, how have I been sleeping? Do I feel like I'm coming down with something? Have I been burning the candle at both ends? Have I been clearing my space? So most of the time I just need a shower and a good 12 hours of sleep. So for the love of Goddess, please do not get all panicky about being under psychic attack after watching this video. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who is visible in the tarot, pagan, witchy community who gets emails about getting people being attacked and stuff, and I get them on the daily. So I know that there can be a little bit of like fear mentality around this. And which brings us to your mindset, the second point I wanted to talk about in depth. So belief is extremely important. I mean, belief makes people go to war, makes people do atrocious things. It can make us do amazing things too. So it's a very powerful motivating force, and it's a very powerful shaping force. So have you, as a practitioner or as someone who's curious or as a reader, have you examined what you believe when it comes to energetic and psychic protection? Because that is going to shape your reality and your interaction in the way that you deal with it. So do you think that sage smoke will cleanse an area, or is it just a burning shrub? Do you believe that there are malevolent forces out there that are going to come and get you, however you choose to see, view, feel, hear, or name them? Do you believe that if someone gets a lock of your hair, that they're going to be able to cause magical damage to you? And if someone believes it's all nonsense, can they be affected by it and just call it by a different name or not even notice? So these are some very interesting questions, and like I would love for you guys to share, as I was saying before, what you really believe about this. But I do find that sometimes we can, especially when we're learning about new things, or we're starting down the pagan path, or we're readers or whatever, we can tend to adopt somebody else's views on things without really taking the time to assess how we feel about it, and making up our own minds. So I'm always one for a bit of self-examination and some self-reflection. So this will have a big impact on your experience for sure. So So let me know what you think. Do you think that these things are possible? Are you somewhere in the middle? And another thing that's very interesting about this is there are areas in the world that still have a very active magical system in place and large cultural belief that sees this kind of phenomenon as normal. I've been to some of those countries. So, I mean, you have to also take that into place in someone's heritage and lineage. So it's a very complex and very interesting subject as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so you can journal these, or I like to journal things because I like to come back to it. I mean, oh my gosh, I've written some things in my mirror book and in my book of shadows that I would just laugh at now, at myself. So it's nice to see how you grow and experience new things and how your ideas change and evolve. So I wanted to leave this video, and there's still quite a bit to go, but I wanted to actually leave this video with some practical things that you can do if you are looking to start engaging in energetic and psychic protection. So the first thing is visualizations. So I actually have 3 visualizations I'm going to run you through very quickly that you can use. And the reason why this is so great is you don't need any tools. You have everything you need. And our brain is the most powerful organ we have. So you're already engaging the most powerful physical thing you have at your disposal to help with this subject. Now, visualizations have been talked about in many books, in videos and blog posts. So I'm not going to completely unpack what visualizations are here. What I view visualizations are as entering into a meditative or at least a mindful space if you don't have the time to get into a trance-like state. And then seeing in your mind's eye the desired effect on your physical and energetic space. So it's like playing a movie in your mind. The more detailed the visualizations are, the more chance you have of being successful, because it's accepted as truth and integrated as truth in your mind. Like anything, it does take practice, but the following visualizations can be great to add to your toolbox when it comes to taking care of your energetic hygiene. So I'm going to offer one way of doing each one of these visualizations. You can change them up and adapt them to your own practice completely. That's totally what I recommend. As to how often you do these visualizations, it's completely up to you. Really, it is. I don't think it's like a take one visualization once a week and with a glass of juice. I don't know. Could I be wrong there? Someone can tell me what they think. So the first one I like to call the mirror. And this visualization is where you would see yourself surrounded by a ball or egg of light, which is reflective and that bounces energy off you. So picture like Galinda's orb from The Wizard of Oz that act like Wonder Woman's gauntlets. I know, pop culture references left, right and center, but it's just my life. And it shields your whole and surrounds your whole body. So to start this visualization, you would calm and center your breathing and close your eyes. Then you would want to see yourself in the screen of your mind, and for this one you want to see your whole body. Now the way that I do this is I see myself holding my hands out in front of me like I was going to catch a basketball. Okay, and in between my hands I start to feel, and I also could do this physically while I have my eyes closed because it does help. So I'm going to feel heat and light that's gathering in between these, my hands. So just like some cool movie special effects, some Harry Potter bitches movement coming here. So we've got this like ball of brilliant blue white light. So it's the light is protective energy that we all have access to. You can see this and call this whatever you like. Reiki light, force light, universal love, Christ light. It's all the same jazz as far as I'm concerned. It's healing light and love. So once you feel this is warm enough and big enough, you're going to expand your hands wide, stretching the energy. And as your arms pull further apart, the energy forms a ball around you, going over your head and importantly under your feet. So it's like vroom, force field. Oh, like I guess, we've seen it in like Harry Potter, we've seen it in The Incredibles with Violet, we've seen it Susan Storm in the Fantastic Four. There's a number of movie visualizations that you see someone like putting up a force field around them. It's very, very much the same thing. So once you have that clear in your mind, and you may also feel this around you, which is awesome, it's like a temperature change, see it crystallize and become firm but breathable like an eggshell, which is why I mentioned the eggshell. So then you're going to glitterize that baby, and have it like having a mirror finish on the outside. So any harmful energy will be bounced back. Now you do actually want to be quite intentful with that, because you want the good stuff to come in, and state your intention around that energy. And then when you're ready, you open your eyes, and that is one form of mirror protection. Oh. Okay, so I just forgot to write something in there. So I hate editing my videos so fucking much. So I just keep recording because it is the bane of my existence, and I hate iMovie. So there you go. All right, so the second one is cutting energetic cords. So energetic cords are what I believe they are the energetic representation of the connection we have to people, good and not so good. It is what I believe connects twins, and why they can sense each other at all times, or why mothers have an incredible sense about their children at all times. Literally you are connected with your child through a cord physically, and I believe that stays energetically. If you have a relationship with someone, there is a bond between you two, and you may see these as cords. So if you want to cut the cords to someone or a situation, it can be very freeing and healing. It is like saying you no longer have access to my energy bodies in space. I'm also one for healing the cord and sending it back to the person with the healing energy. Because the last thing the world needs is more assholes or more vindictive people. The more healing we can do, the better. This can be a little bit more of a complex visualization. So if you don't see any cords the first few times you do it, don't stress. There may be nothing for you to cut or release, or you may need to come back to it another time. So you would do exactly the same thing as the first one, and I've actually put the step by step again over at ethany.com. So calming and centering, closing your eyes, seeing your whole body in the screen of your mind. Then you want to center your thoughts around the person, situation, or relationship that you would like to heal and separate from, all the while focusing on the image of your body in front of you. Now, as you're feeling this person's situation, as you're gathering your consciousness around this, your body's energy and image will start to change. As this happens, I want you to start to rotate your body, just like if you're on one of those little like spinning boards, lazy Susan on the floor, and look for any cords that may be coming out of your aura. They can be different colors. And while some people say never to cut a certain colored cord, I believe that if you are genuinely focusing on the person, situation, or relationship that you want to release, you are only going to see the ones that need removing and releasing and healing. So at this point for me, I call in an archangel to aid me in this, but you can simply see a pair of scissors or a sword or some implement that you can cut the cords with. So with slow intention and one at a time, cut the cord from your aura. See the end that was coming from you healed and your aura becoming whole again. And I do this with universal light. And then I see the end that I removed also bathed in light, and I would send the light and love back up the cord to the person, situation, or relationship that I'm healing and removing. And then you would do this for each one of the cords that you see coming out of your aura and spend the time healing your space and theirs. When all the cords are free, you can do the mirror ball visualization again to put some protection in place if you like. Or sometimes I take a universal light energy shower. It's like energetically stepping under a waterfall of light. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Now, the third and final one is breathing in light and breathing out toxins. So this visualization is great for shedding unwanted energies around and from within the body. This is not a substitute for medical care at all. Please, please, please do not think it is. I like to send the energy to Gaia for transformation and cleansing. The earth is the queen of transformation. We all go to her to be reborn and for our bodies to return home. So energy just shifts and changes. You can also send it somewhere else if you want to, but I ground it down, and because I'm all about doing a lot of grounding and centering practices. Okay, so to start this visualization, you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to come and center your breathing and close your eyes. Now, on the screen of your mind this time, I usually see my body either standing or sitting down. Either works well, but what I like about sitting down is that my root chakra is connected to Gaia in this way on the energetic field as well as the physical field. But you can do it as long as your feet are on the ground. And if you can, do it without your shoes on. Now you're going to see universal energy flowing above you and all around you. So you can do this in any way. I've seen like energy circuits around you. You can see your chakras. You can see it coming down through into your crown. There's lots of becoming aware of all the universal energy around you. Now this is the light, the loving light flow that we've worked with in the last two. So now every time you take a breath in, you're going to breathe this light in and see it fill your body. So going all the way to the ends of your fingertips, all the way to the bottom of your toes. Every part of your body is going to start getting filled with light every time you breathe in. And then every time you exhale, you want to see gray energy being removed from your body. And I, like I said, do that through sending it through Gaia, through my feet, my legs, or my hands. So if I'm sitting down, I often put my hands on the ground and I see the light go out there, the gray energy go out there to be transformed. So you can do this for as long as you need, and you can also breathe light into each of your chakras if you like, or any area of your body that you're experiencing pain or discomfort, or you would like to send some healing. And again, when you're ready, you can do the mirror ball to have some protection in place. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you have done another visualization. You don't need to do all three of them. It's just like whatever kind of tickles your fancy and whatever you have time for or whatever you feel like doing. So as I mentioned as well, this is just one suggestion on how to use these visualizations. You can adapt it for any way you like to work with energy. So this is where I'm going to wrap up this post and video. I will be discussing crystals, cleansing space, amulets, and a bunch of other things in part 2. Again, I would love to start the conversation. Let me know what you think and your experience. And as always, thank you so much for joining with me. I look forward so much to reading the discussion about this topic below.